welcome to Sydney Parade. Joining us for a Premier League game. Pembroke are taking on Trinity here. It's a home game for Trinity. They've swapped the ground out to here, to Sydney Parade, where we're still using the facilities from Thursday's interprovincial game. It's an important game for Pembroke. Pembroke lined up here to my right. Will be in the field first. Trinity won the toss and have elected to bat, and we'll be kicking off in 5 minutes now. And Pembroke will be in the field, and a win here, we hope, will get them a home semi-final in the Leinster League this year. Our umpires today are Stephen Hadley and Paul Reynolds, and the Trinity side, excuse me for a second, contains a number of players who will be well known to Pembroke viewers. Michael Hogan, Danny Hogan, Dermot Tucker, Connor Hoey, Sunil Gupta, Nigel Jones, the coach of the Leinster Lightning, is playing for Trinity today, and Nicholas Pretorius, who has played with various sides around Leinster, including the Hills and Phoenix, is now turning up for Trinity. We're looking forward to a good game. Hopefully the rain will stay off. There are a few clouds around, but we'll see how we go. And thank you for joining us, and enjoy the game. Thank you very much.
I don't know if it's... I don't know who's taking first strike. It's either him or Dermot.
Just put
You're live, by the way.
Just put O for opener there, Peter. Peter Searson now giving us the batting order for the Trinity side as far as he knows it. And I'm joined in the commentary box today by Luke. Morning, Luke.
Hello, Craig. How are you today?
Grand. Perfect. Thank you very much, Peter. Peter Searson here in his official capacity as scoring for Trinity. The Pembroke scorer is Ada Lawson. So, looking forward to today's game, Luke.
Yeah, I think it'll be a quite tight game, but I'm not sure who will win today. Both sides are looking quite good.
Well, it seems to be Pembroke against Pembroke B.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So nearly half the Trinity team have originated in Pembroke. And did you know that Trinity is celebrating this year? No. 200 years?
200 years?
200 years. We celebrated our 150th last year. Year before last. Last year. Year before last. 1868. I see Peter Prendergast on the ground. No doubt our COVID officer will be taking out her sniper's rifle now. Taking him out. As we see the Pembroke side now preparing to go onto the field. The umpires are in the middle. We're just minutes away now. There they are, the umpires in the middle. And welcome to the 14 of you watching at the moment. You can let us know that you're watching. My phone number for text messages is 086 156 4442, or you can contact us on Twitter, but please do tag Pembroke Cricket. See if anybody replies to us today and lets us know where they're watching from. We certainly have been worldwide this year.
Yes.
People in Africa, Australia, Asia, America, all been watching Pembroke cricket.
I didn't think that a lot of them had cricket, but...
Well, a lot of them are actually Pembroke members who have now moved abroad, or some that are living a long way away like Swords. And good morning to Mr. Mooney. Mr. Mooney straight onto the text machine. Now, opening the batting, we've been told, is Nicholas Pretorius and Dermot Tucker. Dermot wearing number 6. And Nick Pretorius, well, we haven't seen the back of him yet. So in these days of colour clothing, the umpires are wearing black. Trinity are wearing black, Pembroke are wearing black. Not a huge difference to everybody wearing white. Welcome also to one of our viewers down in local viewers, Nikki Bell, as opening the bowling is
Paul Lawson.
first ball just hit straight back to Paul, fields it with his left hand. Theo Lawson sporting a new haircut today, did you see that? New hairstyle. It's just in front of us here.
Oh yeah.
He's got his cornrows in. Snorts of derision from the box. Hiya Bruce, how are you today?
I'm very good, thanks.
Good. So, second ball. And that's pushed out on the offside, where it's fielded. Lorcan Tucker back behind the sticks today for Pembroke. Lorcan fresh from his trip to Southampton with the Irish team. Pretorius plays that one. Oh, that's a superb piece of fielding by the skipper. You'd be happy enough with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, very nice fielding.
Yes, there's a number of players on this team who were over with the Irish team for those 3 ODIs against England. Josh Little, Lorcan, JJ Garth. Anybody else out there, do you? Barry McCarthy's injured.
Yeah. He was in the commentary against Leinster Lightning.
And a very good job he did too. That was his first time in the commentary box. But it does help when you have somebody like Andy Leonard with you as well.
Yeah.
So Lawson bowling from the nursery end. Another dot ball. And that's a superb over. I think that's a maiden.
Yep, nothing off that over.
That'll be a promising start for Pembroke.
Pretty superb fielding.
Wasn't bad, was it? Fiacre's dive was certainly leading by example. Now, who do we have bowling from the St John's end? Looks like Ryan Hopkins is marking out his run-up.
Ryan Hopkins, a fast pace bowler.
Just checking his run-up. So Dermot Tucker to face for the first time. These two, he would have faced Ryan a few times in the nets before. Must be strange playing against your own team.
Yeah.
I did it for a couple of years.
No,
I left Pembroke for 3 years.
Who did you play for?
Sandyfoot. It was a different Sandyfoot in those days. Another viewer has contacted us.
That was 2 runs.
Is there anything on the screen in front of you? Okay. Is it black, is it? Well, let's have a look. In fact, would you run down to Niall and tell him that it's not working?
Yeah.
And, oh, there you go, Bruce has got it.
Another one well fielded.
So, Sean Smith is on our wide camera. Who's on our near camera here?
Daniel. No.
Daniel. And our director today is Ryan, keeping an eye on all the pictures and choosing which ones to show you. It's a good start there for Ryan. Another dot ball. Oh,
2 runs.
missed that. Shows I wasn't concentrating. That's well bowled and well taken by Lorcan.
Lorcan looks to be standing up to a pace bowler.
He'd be standing up to Ryan, all right. Now you notice, even though he's standing up, there's nobody down on the boundary behind him. He has the utmost confidence. A, in Ryan bowling down the offside, and B, that he will stop anything that goes past. You're trying to peer around the monitor, I feel. There you go. Is that better? Can you see better now?
Yeah, that's perfect, thanks.
Ryan Hopkins again, and Pretorius. This time Dermot's gone big, gone very big onto the top of the onto the top of the nets and then back off again. It was that well struck. That's certainly a good start to that. So Dermot would be delighted with the 1-6 there.
Fired back over onto the top of the nets.
About 65, 70 metre hit, I'd say.
Yeah, very long.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We appear to be on pitch 6 today. Does that sound right to you?
Yep.
Now, Pretorius to face Lawson again. Paul, who seems to have shed a lot of his beard for this weekend. Just played out on the leg side. Good bit of fielding by Josh Little, but not enough to stop Pretorius. Not enough to stop Pretorius taking the single. Just played out on the leg side. Sometimes it's easier to commentate from the picture,
Yeah.
even though it is possibly a second behind. Dermot coming well down the track there. Good. Oh no, Nick coming well down the track there. Pretorius number 17. Just so we know, and then it'll help us when they're fielding.
Yeah.
We'll be able to see. Becca Gallagher out and about, listening to commentary through her car radio. Let's hope she doesn't distract her from her driving.
On the back foot there, hit it straight to Scott at square leg.
And good afternoon too to Simon Heaney. Simon, who could watch this game live from his bathroom window. Choosing to watch it on YouTube at the moment. Oh, that's well bowled. Good length. Oh, that's good call. Not out. Dermot managing to get back in time. But certainly...
Pretorius not taking his chances there.
No. No, you don't want to at this stage. It's second over.
Yeah.
Or third over. You don't want to run out then, do you? Score at the moment is on your screen. 9 for 0 off 2.1. Well, you can say welcome.
Welcome to all you 25 viewers. That's
Played out on the offside. Theo Lawson picks it up. They think of a second, but Lawson's fielding there. Theo Lawson, complete with cornrows. Covering the ground very well.
as I was saying. Hello to all the 25 viewers. That is the third highest I've commentated to.
Or he's come down the track and he's just carved that over the covers.
For 4 runs.
Extra cover. 4 runs to Nick Pretorius. Takes the score on to 14. And that's 3 overs gone. No wickets down yet. Score, luckily enough for me, I know my 3 times table. So it's under 5 and over. Just. 4.667.
Yep.
Just for Michael Clark. Michael Clark likes his run rates down to the thousandth, like Formula 1. You doing all right out there?
Yep.
Good man. Checking in with our cameraman as Ryan Hopkins comes in again from the Jones end. Pushed out into the covers by Dermot Tucker.
Fielded by Josh Little.
Good throwback from Josh Little. He has a strong arm, doesn't he?
Yes. Helps him with his bowling.
Certainly does. I thought it was magnificent during the ODIs against England. He got Morgan out all 3 games.
Yeah.
It's a nice memory to have. Played round the leg side. Pretorius gets called through by Dermot Tucker. Theo Lawson takes the bails off. direct hits. Hopkins in again. Good line, good length. Batsman showing the edge of his bat to that one, but not getting anywhere near it. Taken by Lorcan Tucker. Another dot ball. Oh, that's well bowled. That could very easily have taken the edge and gone into Lorcan's gloves.
Another one very nicely bowled.
The club's most informed bat at the moment, currently at home watching. Last weekend, scored over 100 runs, not out. Spread over 2 games, but that's the pity of 20 over cricket. But Nicky Bell, well informed this year. Oh.
Oh,
That's pushed through, and that's a good run.
looked to be an inside edge to square leg.
So at the end of 4 overs, the score has moved on to,
16.
it says 16 on the board. I see no reason to doubt it.
Okay.
17. And that's 4 overs gone. Paul Lawson to continue. As I mentioned earlier, Trinity is celebrating 200 years of cricket this year. Oh, that's well bowled, going past the outside edge of Tucker's bat. One has to feel for Trinity, trying to celebrate a 200th anniversary during a COVID summer. Especially as they would have celebrated their 100th year during Spanish flu. Unfortunate. But they're bringing out a book next week, which will contain the full details of all their games and players for many years. It's in the air, it's pushed through, out through the covers, it's being chased down, but there's no catching that. That reaches the fence in double quick time. 4 runs to Dermot Tucker.
Very well hit. Comes right off the bat.
But there's always been strong links between Pembroke and Trinity. Some of the more recent players, more recent past, as well as the 5 who are playing there. Oh, that's been misfielded in the covers, and that's run out to the boundary, and JJ will just trot after that to fetch it. Dermot Tucker gets another 4, takes him on to 19. Paul Lawson won't be happy with that. This time Tucker just plays it out on the leg side to his brother Fiacre. Fiacre, who got called up to the Leinster Lightning last week.
Yeah, very good news for him.
It's great to see him just on the edge of a breakthrough there. Hopefully he'll get his chance with Leinster. Paul Lawson expressing some frustration at that over.
Now it looks like Josh Little is coming onto ball. Not certain, but
I think you're right. Josh, fresh from his super performance with the Irish team. And in fact, he was here on Thursday with the Leinster Lightning as well. So Pretorius to face Josh Little. And you'll notice for Josh now, Paddy Morris has gone down to third man. A bit more pace and going across the right-hander.
Could just barely see him.
Here he comes now, Josh Little. Oh my goodness, there's a bit of pace to that.
That was quick.
That was quick and went whizzing past Pretorius' nose. He's shaped to go for it, but I think very wisely decided to drop his hands, get out of the way of it. But certainly a good first up delivery.
Just to get the batsman a little shaky.
Keep him thinking. I see JJ Garth warming up there in the covers now. He may just be warming up to field. Oh, that's off the edge. It's gone over Theo Lawson behind square on the leg side and has run off down to the boundary.
3 bounce 4.
Definitely wasn't where he wanted to hit it, was it?
No.
He was hurried into that shot and I think it got quite high on the bat. Another 4 for Trinity. Takes Pretorius on to 9 and the score on to 29. We're in the 6th over now. One bit of feedback I did get from our viewers over this season is to make sure you mention the score enough.
Ooh.
Pretorius has decided to go for his shots. Push that one out on the leg side and gets 2 for it.
Looks like Pretorius is taking all the strike for this over.
So far, anyway. So 6 off the over so far. Little continues. Another one short. Played round the corner, this time at Theo. Clean pick up by Theo Lawson. Went to the bowler's end.
JJ to come and retrieve it. I think they're just looking for the top edge here. Get it shooting up high.
Well, they've brought Theo back now to the boundary.
Ooh. Run off the bat. Paddy?
Dermot Tucker getting right up onto his tippy toes there.
Yeah.
Expecting a short ball and then ended up just playing it down to third man. Pretorius back on strike, so Theo comes back into the circle. Scott Ruddle goes back out to just behind square leg on the boundary. For those of you who know Pembroke, he's at the gap in the fence at the bar end. It's a good steady run up that Josh Little now has. And Pretorius trying to play a scoop shot over the keeper.
Looked like if he had got any connection there, Lorcan would have grabbed that.
Change of bowling now at the nursery end.
JJ Garth.
Yep.
Leg spin, I think. Yeah. Bit of leg spin here.
Yep. So that's the first power play done. Ryan Hopkins has taken up his by now customary position on the boundary. I saw him take a couple of catches against Merion earlier this year, right out in the boundary, and superbly taken. Safe pair of hands, I think.
Yeah.
And coming out and fielding just in front of the commentary position, Theo Lawson. JJ to when his magic, the magic of leg spin. It's a mystery to so many of us. Trinity have now moved on to 33 for no wicket, off 6. And he starts with a full toss that is smacked out to long on. Ryan Hopkins picks it up, just a single there. This time, getting it up to bounce on the wicket. But it ends up in the same place with the same result, just a single.
Same exact shot played 3 times in a row.
JJ will be happy enough with them picking up singles at the moment. Oh, it's full toss down the leg side, and that's beaten Josh Little behind square leg and runs away for 4. Full toss from JJ. After the 3rd ODI in Southampton against England, the one that Ireland won, JJ spent a good 20 minutes talking with Adil Rashid, the English leg spinner. One wonders if he picked up any tips or helps or hints. But great that players are willing to give their... Oh, another full toss, same results, except this time Josh Little on the boundary, fields it cleanly, flies it back into the bowler's end. Ace off the over so far. 2 balls to go.
Oh,
Well, that's better. Bit of turn, taking it off the open bat of Dermot Tucker, and that was in fact the end of the over. So 7 overs gone. Score is 41 on the scoreboard and 40 on Cricket Clubs. So somewhere, well, not between those two, but somewhere around there. Josh Little to continue from the nursery end. Lorcan takes the helmet off. Crinkly paper all over the commentary box at the moment. Josh Little now coming in. Nursery end. Pretorius came down the track, showing his intent. He's trying to carve that one away around off the offside.
Josh bowling extremely well.
He's certainly showing intent here, Nick Pretorius. Fine player.
Wicket-keeper batsman.
I'm very good at both of them. I once met Nick. I was working in immigration in Dublin Airport, being questioned by an official. As the official supervisor, I was called in, and once I saw the name, I knew why he was in Ireland. We let him in that day. Dermot Tucker plays one down, Paddy Morris down at 3rd man, picks it up, stops at any thought of a second. Josh looks like he's walking off to the car park there. Heading off that way. Barney.
Barney has now joined us in the commentary booth.
That's a super shot. Pretorius again showing his intent. He's not going to be cowed by facing the Trinity players just completing a lap. Now the field has spread a bit as a result of Pretorius' belligerence. He's certainly not holding back anyway. He's come forward again. He's smacked it out there to the boundary where it pitches in front of the fielder. But a well set field. Now, German Tucker to face Josh Little. It's a good delivery. Another decent over by Josh. Still 6 runs coming off it. 47 off 8. Barney.
Barney deciding whether he wants to go back or whether he wants to stay here.
As long as people keep feeding him, he'll stay here. So, the score now is, Luke?
48 for no loss after 8 overs.
Spot on. Top work. Well, he's fine. My pal, aren't you, hey? He'll go back once he realises I've finished the pan of raisin. Then he'll go back. Another change of bowling at the nursery end. Luke?
Scott Ruddle.
Absolutely, spot on. And what does Scott bowl?
Off spin.
Off spin. Excellent. Had a super season last year. What's our viewing figure at the moment there, Director?
Looks like that to be 28. That's
28 people. I wonder if that 28 includes my friend, my colleague and my teammate, Maurice Lyons, down in the Midlands. Hopefully it does. If it does, Maurice, give us a tinkle. 086 156 4442. That's well bowled. Played out on the offside there by Dermot Tucker. They'll be looking for 2, but it's gone for 4. Square of the wicket. Nicely pushed out there. David Cosgrave unable to cut that one off. David Cosgrave is the leading run scorer in the club this year. A position normally taken by Theo Lawson, but this year, David Cosgrave playing seconds and firsts. Truncated season, well bowled by Scott Ruddle. Tucker did well, made his decision not to play at that. Good afternoon to the Honorary Secretary. Ah, lovely bit of bounce. Well taken by Lorcan Tucker behind the sticks. And there we go. First wicket falls. Somebody going to press A and S to make sure the replay is set up. I see our technical director is now sprinting down the wall. Can you get a picture of Niall running down the wall there, please? Just so that people can see that he can actually run. He's now desperately trying to make his way back in time for the replay machine. I think he's almost hit full pace there now. Right, so that's the first wicket gone. Dermot Tucker has departed. He scored 27. First wicket falls with 53 on the board in the 9th over. It's a promising start there for Trinity. They'll be happy enough with that as a start. Okay, I think we can go back onto the main pitch now, thank you. I'm sure when Niall watches the replay of him running down the wall.
Oh, lovely.
And I see joining us at the ground now.
Well, it looks like the replay machine is struggling. Something's not right.
Yeah, maybe we won't be able to bring you a recording of that wicket.
Oh, we might, but
I'm sure we can replay Niall's run down the wall, which will be just as momentous, really. So,
No. Control.
Scott Russell picks up the first wicket in the 9th over. Score has moved on to 53. Nick Pretorius is on 25, and number 3 today, Sunil Gupta. Just plays that one out on the offside, blocking that one. And that concludes Scott Russell's first over, and a fine first over too. So, who's bowling now?
Looks to be Fiacre Tucker. With his leg spin.
Good afternoon, Cyril. So, 9 overs gone. We're into the 10th over, which will mark the halfway point in Trinity's innings. They've only lost 1 wicket. They'll be happy enough with that, Luke. Allows them to have a bit of a bash later on, perhaps.
Yeah.
Pretorius isn't hanging around, though. He has clubbed that one. I don't think there's any other word to describe it. Out to long on, where I think Ryan Hopkins is fielding. Paul Reynolds there, just giving guard to Sunil. He's number 2.
In the 10th over, not a bad run rate. 54.
They want it to be a bit higher than that. That's an easy single there as Sunil pushes it through mid-on. Ryan Hopkins comes in from the boundary, fields it at about the circle, and puts Nick Pretorius back on strike. Pretorius now advancing down the track again. I think he's trying to hit it too hard.
Yeah.
He'd be better off timing it.
And then probably getting a better shot off.
And also you'd have thought Pretorius would be the backbone around which they'd want to build this innings. Sunil Gupta this time playing it out towards cow corner. Another single. He's clearing that front foot out of the way, but he hasn't really connected with any of these, has he?
No. Just seems to be pushing them or...
Is that better?
Yeah.
Push your chair just a little bit that way, because we are socially distancing.
Ooh.
Sunil Gupta has very quickly come in and hit a few.
Rotating the strike quite well.
Would you do me a favour? Put the headphones on and tell me if it sounds okay, if we're loud enough.
And after 10 overs, it is 58 for 1, 59 for 1. With Pretorius securely on 28 runs and Sunil on 3 runs, just as he's entered.
So let's play the game. Luke, how many are Trinity going to get?
I'm going to guess that they'll get 118.
Ryan?
130.
Who else is behind me? Oh, that was just past the fielder. Just behind points, and it runs away for 4. Sunil Gupta, be happy with that.
Probably 110. 110.
Name?
Gareth.
See, we have to say it out loud, Gareth, so that everybody knows who said 110. Anyone else?
No.
Director? Oh, you said 130.
Bruce?
Cameraman? Bruce? How many do you think Trinity will get?
117.
117.
Daniel.
Anybody out there watching care to have a guess? 59 for 1 at the halfway stage. How many will Trinity end up with?
That is the real question.
Ryan, one of our viewers, has guessed 130, just like you. Nobody's ever going to accuse Simon of being original.
Ooh.
Our viewer in swords.
Oh, well fielded. Back Paul. That was a beautiful piece of fielding.
Our viewer in swords, Mr. Mooney, has gone for 109, which is the lowest guess. And the honorary secretary, Mr. Ryan, has gone with 140. Oh, it's in the air, but it's clear points. JJ Garth at points. It is fielded on the boundary and fired in. David Cosgrave, but Sunil picks up another 2. Mr. Ryan is expecting an explosive second. 10 overs. Sunil Gupta just plays that down fine off the edge of his bat, down towards third man where somebody chases it down.
I think that's Paul. Yeah, looks to be Paul Lawson. Or one of the Lawsons.
So that's 7 off that over. Takes the score on to 66 off 11, which is a run rate of...
Oh, 6.
Yes! It's alright, I'm not going to ask you difficult ones, don't worry. It's 68 off 11. So it's actually 6 2/11, which, as Michael Clark would tell you, is somewhere around 0.18. This could be called a no ball. Oh, they've missed a stumping.
I haven't been at school for a while, please forgive me.
No ball signalled by Paul Reynolds, and now it's a free hit. Pembroke having too many outside the circle. Barney heading back to the scorer's table. It's a free hit and it's clubbed somewhere between cow corner and wide mid-on. 4 runs off that.
That is fired away.
I suspect that Theo Lawson will be owing Fiacre Tucker an apology for that one. It was Theo's not being in the circle that caused the no ball. He's played the same shot again this time though. Paul Lawson out at cow corner, fields it, returns it, brings Sunil Gupta on strike. Sunil Gupta.
Ooh, just played off the bat.
Has taken 2 there. And despite Lorcan Tucker taking out one of the stumps and knocking off the bails, Sunil makes it back for 2 handily enough. Sunil Gupta, another product of the 5th 11. Clubbed out on the leg side. They'll be looking for 2 here. And a good throw in from Paul Lawson saves the second single. Or saves the second, I suppose. Not even a single. We were looking at the Pembroke side earlier as Pretorius plays one out in the offside for a single, well fielded by JJ Garth. We were talking earlier and saying that there are actually 8 bowlers on the Pembroke side today. We've already seen 5.
Hopefully everyone will get a ball.
Paddy Morris, who was drafted into the team at a late stage. Bill Whaley, his body giving out. See if we can't get a quick word now with Theo Lawson as he sends a hand of apology to his captain. So, Theo, what was the no ball for? It was when you said, "Oh shit," and started running in that I realised. Yeah. So JJ Gus to continue from the nursery end. And Trinity going very well now, 78 for 1 off 12. Pretoria still there with 34. Sunil Gupta has moved very quickly and very smartly onto 14. Scott Russell, long barrier, clean pick up, fired it back into Lorcan Tucker. Definitely no 2 there. Well fielded. It's alright, it's only a spring. It hasn't come off or anything. It will slot back into the gap. There you go. Again, good fielding again, good intent, good work out on the boundary line there by Hopkins and, is it Hoey?
Yep.
Oh, well taken by Lorcan.
Very
The
well
return came
taken.
in very high there. Had to stretch for that one, didn't he?
Yeah, jumped. Looked like he was jumping up an absolute mile. Tried to reach for the clouds.
JJ being called for a wide, although he very nearly went round Pretorius' legs. Well bowled again by JJ. He seems to be finding his line and length now. His first over certainly was a bit wayward with too many not reaching the dance floor.
Yeah.
He's definitely finding a better position there now.
Well fielded by Theo.
Well, a slight misfield,
Slight misfield, but then
but good recovery.
good recovery, yes.
Is there somebody on the camera? Is Niall around? Okay. Well, have you got the camera pointed at the wicket? Just as long as the director's happy with your picture, then by all means nip off home. Yep, we'll see you in a minute.
See ya, Dan.
So Dan, our cameraman number 2, slipping away home for a minute.
Barney seems to be joining the other cameraman, Sean.
Torres desperately trying to give himself more room than that. Just a single. The Pembroke side seem to be busy in the field, and there's been some fine fielding, but they're quite quiet today. Sunil Gupta going down on one knee, sweeping it round behind square, where Theo Lawson picks it up 30 yards away from the stumps, maybe 31. Stephen Hadley, the umpire at square leg at the moment. Fiacre Tucker to continue. Oh, Pretorius has come down and he's lofted that up to mid-off, where it bounces just in front of Josh Little. The throw goes back to Lorcan Tucker. Nice bit of backing up by Theo there, just in case.
Just looked a bit high.
You might just hit A&S on that one, director. Just Niall might want to show the LBW. Sunil Gupta goes straight, goes big. Well fielded there by Josh Little.
Very.
Catches it one-handed on the bounce, passes it to his colleague.
Ooh,
Well
straight
bowled by
back-
Fiagra.
Straight back to the bowler. And at the end of the 14th over, Trinity are on 86 for 1 after 14 overs. Pretorius on 38, just reaching for his 50 in the next few overs, I'd say.
Sooner than that, if you can. There's 6 overs to go now. You'd be thinking Trinity will be going big on everything. This time they're looking for 2, and they'll. That's superb fielding by Scott Russell. Super throw. Sunil Gupta, obviously with his Pembroke experience, realising just what a good arm Scott Russell has,
Very well.
and let
Very good
Pretorius
calling.
keep the strike.
Oh,
He
that
goes
is-
down on one knee, sweeps that for 4 round the corner, out of the reach of Josh Little there.
That is a brilliant shot.
That's a super shot. Down on one knee.
Just pulled.
It was a good sweep, but not as good as perhaps one of the Pembroke players would have played it.
Oh yeah. It is now that I'm starting to rethink my guess.
I say a lot of people will.
Oh, just
Well stopped on the boundary, but it won't stop them getting 2 for that.
pulled forward. Ooh, very well bowled. Ooh. Well done off his legs.
.41. So that's 16 overs gone. 4 overs to go. The score is 95 for 1. Trinity have batted very well.
Yeah.
They'll certainly be towards the higher end, as much as some people wanted to support the bowlers or believed in the bowlers. The lowest guess we have is 109, 110, 117, 118, and then other people have gone higher than that. Oh, Sunil Gupta has decided that with 4 overs to go, now is the time to play his shots, and hits that one down to the cupboard stand down at the car park corner.
The car park corner. I like that name.
Plays it out on the leg side again. This time, Paul Lawson. Straight back to the keeper, into the keeper's gloves. Certainly wouldn't happen on the fists. Kevin Ryan has spent 30 years collecting the ball at his ankles.
Oh, came up the track to that one. powered straight for the single.
And certainly if anybody out there does have a connection with Trinity, J.S. Siggins is talking about the book book they've produced for their 200th year.
Down on one knee and hit that very well.
This is a good performance by the Trinity top order. Sunil Gupta has now moved on to 28, and Pretorius is just one strike away from his half century. Well bowled by Faircroft, no chance of putting that away. Another empty dart heading out towards Bray. Faster ball there from Faircroft. It's played out through the covers. Josh Little covers the ground, picks it up one-handed, tries to, does at the second attempt, and gets the throw back to Tucker. End of the over, that's 16 gone, 4 to go. The score is now 103 on the board.
Looks like, Paul might be taking another one. That seems to be the case.
Pembroke very fortunate to have so many good spinners to pick from.
Also a good few pace bowlers.
Yes, when everyone's fit, we
Yeah.
do have a very strong bowling attack. Just played back down the ground, past the despairing dive of Paul Lawson, covered by the Corn Road Theo Lawson. So Pretorius now facing. As I said, he's just that one shot away from his half century.
Yeah.
Will he be looking for it in one shot?
Oh.
He has smacked it out to Gavin Hoey, cow corner, and Gavin's throw. A thing of beauty. Connor, of course, Gavin, of course, playing against his dad today. Connor Hoey playing for Trinity. We'll see his leg spin later.
Ooh.
It's gone down the leg side.
Umpire signals a wide ball.
Slight fumble by Lorcan, but only conceding the wide. Sunil now on 30. This is a good stand. The wicket fell at 53, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So they put on 50, these two. The second. Oh, what a throw from his knees. Scott Russell on his knees on the boundary still manages to fire it straight into the keeper's gloves. So yes, the first wicket stand was 53 and this one's now moved on to 55.
Oh.
Another shot out to the leg side. Josh Little keeps it down to a single. Pretorius moves on to 46. 2 balls left in the over. Despite what it says on your screen. Pushed across the bat. Sunil Gupta leaving that one.
Trying to find if it's a wide.
That one's actually turned into a full toss. Played out to mid-on. Ryan Hopkins runs it back in. It's the over up.
Looks like they're trying to stop Pretorius from getting his 50.
So the score is 109 on the board, which is what Graham Mooney predicted.
Unless they bowl them out with no more runs. Oh, 110 now.
110. So that's Graham Mooney out of the running. Gareth's 110 is next up. do that. For those of you who are interested, the seconds are playing at home tomorrow. Another game that Noel Walsh and his team will be covering. Unfortunately for me, or fortunately for me, I will actually be across the road in Coldblow Lane, playing for Pembroke's fifths in their final league game against Railways fourths. Josh Little now to continue. Short, inside edge, down onto the pad. They take a single anyway, and it brings Pretorius back on strike, needing 4 more. I suspect if he does manage to get these 4 runs in this over, there'll be a loud cheer from the Trinity sideline. Obviously not from the crowd because we've no spectators here today. Oh, he's gone down the wicket and changed his mind very late to just push it out on the offside to JJ Garth. Takes him on to 47 and the score on to 112. They get off the 1-1-1 quite quickly.
Garrett's score has now been eliminated.
Yes, well spotted. So that's Gareth out. Next up, Daniel and Luke, 117, 118. Josh just trying something there, slower ball. Slipped out a bit wide. Sunil Gupta just let that one go through to the keeper. Takes the wide and the extra ball. The score goes on to 113. I think you're going to struggle here, Luke. Your guess of 118 might not be enough. Oh. You could see Sunil wanted to play the shot. Didn't quite get up enough for him.
Hello to all you 44 viewers.
Now don't forget that that's 44 people. It's not even 44 people because it's 44 laptops or TVs or phones or car radios. But there may be more than one person in each house. So you could actually have 80 odd people watching now.
Yeah.
It's more likely to be 41, but it could be more than that.
Hard to imagine. 40 people have tuned in for this game.
Getting quite relaxed now.
Yeah.
Josh continues. Oh, that's gone quite quick through. Pretorius can't get a bat on that one. And a dot ball. He's looking to clear that front foot out of the way so he can play an expansive shot. But when the bowling is going left arm over and sliding across him, if you clear that left leg too much, it makes it very difficult to get bat on ball. One feels Josh telling the batsman he's going to bowl short here. And that's the end of the over. One that bounced twice on its way through to Lorcan. Pretorius frustrated at not being able to get the runs he required for that half century, but he's still out there. And 2 overs to go.
115 for 1 is our total.
For instance, I happen to know that 2 people are watching in Swords at the same screen and 2 people in Dublin 4 watching on the same screen. Oh, inside edge for Sunil. Lets it run down to fine leg, where it's picked up and fired back, but not before he gets 2 for it, and they're signalled as leg buys by Stephen Hadley. The scorer is not signalling back, Peter Searson, so he's continuing to signal leg buy in that extravagant and yet very clear way. Retakes his spot, and JJ Garth to continue. That's gone straight down the ground, where Theo Lawson will come in and will stop any thoughts of a second.
Daniel's score has now been eliminated.
And that gets Sunil Gupta down to the long striker's end. And now Nick Pretorius.
Yeah.
So we're on 118 now.
Yeah.
I don't think 9 wickets are going to fall without.
Oh, that is.
Hoyt into the leg side, where Gavin Hoey picks it up from cow corner. Keeps it down to a single, and that puts Pretorius on to 49 now.
And my score has been eliminated.
Yes, it has. The only ones remaining now. Bruce is next up with 125. It's in the air. Oh, that's a fine catch by skipper Fiacre Tucker. He had to make a lot of ground there, and even then he was stumbling backwards. He threw the hand up, it stuck, and that's a fine catch. And that's the end of Sunil Gupta. He scored 36, and a fine 36 it was too. That camera doesn't seem to be in focus there. Your one, I think, no? The director's now gone on to a different camera. And there's the round of applause for Sunil. That was a stand of 65. So it was 53 for 1.
This is very
and
relaxing.
118 for 2. So the new batsman, coach of the Leinster Lightning. Have you seen what number he's got in his back?
Not yet, but I'll have a look for that.
Plays that one nice and straight. No
19.
run there.
19.
Nigel Jones, number 19. As we were told he was next in, so I see no reason to disbelieve that. Hadley unmoved by the appeal.
That is another over gone. Trinity are now 118 for 2 after 19 overs. Now the question is who's going to bowl the final over. And I'm guessing
come
it'll
on
be
now,
Josh
Luke. The
Little.
real question is who's going to get the score right? And at the moment, Bruce is looking like being closest. Lorcan Tucker deciding that with Josh bowling and it being the last over, no need for the helmet on the pitch, no need to give away 5 penalty runs if the ball was to strike it. So, Josh going round the wickets, Pretorius now. And he's clubbed that one down the ground, and that's going to go for 4. And that is Nick Pretorius' half century. That's been a fine knock by Nick Pretorius.
Yeah, some very nice shots in there.
He certainly has been the backbone of this innings.
My score has now been totally eliminated.
Even Bruce is in trouble at this stage. 118's gone, so Bruce with 125 is next. Kevin Ryan's 140, looking a bit optimistic now. I must ask Kevin in the morning how many he thinks the fifths are going to get in 20 overs. Oh, one that seemed to come off the toe of the bat then.
Yeah, the bottom of the toe.
Yeah. I think even the back guard may have hit that one.
Yeah.
This has been a fine performance by Trinity, putting up a very competitive total. On 123 now. As Nigel Jones faces Josh Little. Swing of the bat, Pushes it out to JJ. Fields it. Returns it underarm. 124. And suddenly Bruce is in pole position here.
We'll have to see who's closest at the end.
But then again, if Nick Pretorius hits a 6 now, suddenly Chunky and Ryan are both in. I somehow can't see it getting as far as Mr. Ryan's 140. It's thumped out to mid-on where Fiacre Tucker takes it. 2 balls to come, signalled by Paul Reynolds. 2 balls left in this over. Bruce is exactly right. 2 dots now. We'll see Bruce as the predictor extraordinaire today.
Rafe's normally the predictor.
Yes. I thought I saw Rafe earlier.
Yeah, he was here earlier.
Oh.
Oh! Run out chance there.
Yeah, they took the single. That, unfortunately for Bruce, sees him out.
Wait, he still could if they get 1-2.
No. Once it goes over your predicted score, you're
Oh,
out.
okay.
Price is Right rules, is it?
Oh, absolutely. Price of Right rules. 1, I think. We have a late entry from Nikki Bell. She says 128. And that's the end of the innings, and Nikki Bell, who tried to predict the score with 1 ball remaining, still managed to be 2 off. The score is 126 with 2 after 20 overs. Nick Pretorius definitely the backbone of the Trinity innings with his 54 unbeaten. Nigel Jones with a single. These two put on 8 for the 3rd wicket. And Pembroke will need 127. Now, during our innings break, we'll be having a quick word with Ryan, who has some news about the junior games on this weekend, the youth games.
So tomorrow, the minor boys and the junior boys have both semi-finals, but the regulations that you can only play 1 game every day.
Yeah.
So half of our junior players can't play. So my brother, he's 10. He has to play pretty much under 15s, and so it's going to be a pretty intense day for both teams. And I can't wait to see what the result is in both.
It is tough when you can only play 1 game a day.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck in those 2. Which one are you playing in?
The minors.
The minors. Good man. Good man. Dale, the groundsman, heads out to his wicket. He's going to have a quick look at that. And we'll take a short break and we'll join you again for the second half. Just one thing, just before I go. We had a request in, and I can say that I can't see Zoe on the ground at the moment. Now, it could be she's down in the nets. In fact, I think she is down in the nets. Do you think that's Zoe down there?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So the answer to the question, Nikki, yes she is, and she's in the nets, so no great surprise there, but you'll know where she is anyway. So we'll take a short break as Breen and daughter walk onto the square to have a word with the groundsman, and we'll be back with you for the start of the Pembroke innings, where they'll be looking for 127 to win, just over 10 and a half. Well, welcome back to Sydney Parade. You join us in time for the second innings now. Pembroke batting, Trinity doing the other thing. Pembroke will need 127 before 20 overs. One question I might ask is if John O'Brien is watching, or if anybody out there has John O'Brien's number, could they text me with it? My number, as always, is 086 156 4442. John O'Brien meant to have left a bag down here for Jim Stewart's pickup. He's come down. We've yet to be able to find the bag. Anyway, back to the cricket. Opening up from Paul Reynolds' end, St John's end. It would appear to be Nigel Jones. Paul Reynolds signalling to the scorers. And opening the batting for Pembroke, Fiacre Tucker, Captain Fiacre. And it looks like Ryan Hopkins. Nick Pretorius taking his spot behind the stumps. We have a on the circle, third man, deep gully, point, covers, mid off, mid on, mid wicket. Connor Hoey taking that, just pushed out on the leg side, gets Tucker off to the mark and brings Ryan Hopkins on strike. Just continuing the field, there is a man deep at square leg, and only appears to be two fielders outside the circle, long on, right back at the nets, and deep square leg. Nigel Jones, very whippy arm action. Coming in from the St John's Wood end. Ryan Hopkins just pops that one down on the leg side. No chance of a run there. It's a good start by Jones. Hopkins now. It's popped up on the leg side, but it does bounce. But fielder can't cut off the single, and Hopkins off the mark. There's 2 balls remaining in the first over, and Pembroke have moved on to 2. Our cameraman, director, and disappeared off. Appears to be in the nets now. Good work by Pretorius, whipping off the bails. However, Tucker never left his ground. But well bowled and well kept. Thanks, Johnny. So that's the end of the first over, 2 runs off that. Connor Hoey now to bowl from the nursery end. Five on the offside. And Hopkins to face Hoey. It's in the air and it's fallen safe just wide of point. Danny Hogan not quite able to make the ground, but creating chances from the first ball. Just popped up off the bat. Good bounce there for Connor Hoey, through to Pretorius. Going over the bat of Fiacre. Fiacre getting right up to that. Hoey leaving that to run out to mid-off. Comes in from the circle, picks it up. No single there. Good enthusiasm in the field for Trinity here now. Pushed away on the leg side very nicely there by Fiacre. There's going to be two there. He's going to pick it up before the boundary. Richard Bisgood fielding that one. He's out. He's out. Tucker coming down the track to Hoey. Hoey pushing it just slightly wider of him. And Pretorius is not going to turn down that opportunity. Next in, Theo Lawson. Fiacre departs the field with the score on 5, with 2 overs gone. 5 for 1 off 2, and Captain Tucker makes the long walk back to the pavilion. Fine piece of bowling that by Hoey. I hope he won't mind me saying a couple of years of experience behind that. And Pretorius certainly wasn't going to miss that chance of a stumping. So, 5 for 1. Theo Lawson. So, Hopkins to face now as Jones comes in. That very whippy arm comes over. Just pushed out to Dermot Tucker. Fielding at covers. Nigel Jones having a quick word there with his fielder, Dermot Tucker. Dermot now just giving a little bit more room. Hopkins facing again. That kind of missed the edge by much. This is good stuff by Trinity. Jones has just dropped that one a little short. And Hoppo has swung round on that. Got it with the top edge of the bat, but it fell safely and ran all the way to the boundary. Takes him on to 4. Takes the score on to 9. Played out on the leg side, where the fielder picks it up very handily. Experienced opening bowling for Trinity with Jones and Hoey. Pretorius again, superb glove work, just managing just to dislodge one bail. That's played back past the keeper. No two there. Brings Lawson on strike. Gets Hopkins down the far end. In fact, it doesn't, because that's the end of the third over. The score has moved on to 10. 10 for 1 after 3. No change at this end either. Connor Hoey to continue. So Hopkins just checking the field. Takes his stance. Hoey. Hopkins just allowing that one to go through to the keeper. Now, whether he read it or knew it wasn't the googly. That one's played out on the offside. The sweeper boundary rider comes in, returns it, just a single. Again, gets Lawson on strike. Hoey quite rightly adjusting his leg side field. Theo Lawson now taking guard. Offside guard. And then batting somewhere around middle. Good call. Danny Hogan into that very quickly. Lawson playing an adjusted sweep shot. Out square leg. Nicely fielded. Theo looking to sweep that one. It wasn't quite there to be swept, but he made the adjustment and still kept the ball down as it went out towards Reynolds at square leg. Umpire Reynolds. This time it's played out on the offside. Again, the boundary rider there. Keeps it down to a single. Brings Lawson back on strike. There'll be a slight delay now as Hopkins ties his shoelace. This time we'd ask our listeners, watchers, all 48 of you, if you want to contact us with what you think will happen in this second innings. I.e., how many are Pembroke going to get? And how long is it going to take them? Will it be a last over thriller? Let's hope so. Lawson playing that one with a very straight bat. End of Connor Hoey's second over. Score is 13 for 1. 4 overs gone. Another 114 required from 16 overs. So after 2 overs from Nigel Jones, there's going to be a change. Required run rate now is 7.125. And a number of viewers or viewing screens has now gone up over the half century itself. 54. It's a fine number, and one hopefully will be able to better when, if, perhaps, maybe, Pembroke get a home semi-final. That could depend on results elsewhere. Full toss outside off stump, just slapped away out to the boundary where Danny Hogan picks it up and fires it back into the bowler. We'll get the bowler's name for you now. Theo Lawson. So, bowling now from the St John's end, Milo Egan. Called a wide ball by Paul Reynolds, takes the score on to 15. Ryan Hopkins now on 10, Theo Lawson with just the 1 to his name so far. And the score 15 for 1 off 4 points. Played down to third man where it's well fielded, but easy enough single to Lawson, doubles his score so far. Brings Ryan Hopkins back on strike. Yeah. Egan's put that one into the slot for Hopkins to drive out. They just take a single there. Single there to Hopkins. Now, Lawson to face. Egan who's bowling a nice line. This one onto the stumps. I don't know, seemed to be batting involved to me. Well bowled. Got Lawson in a tangle. I do think I've heard bat there. Lawson going for the reverse shot. Looking to break the shackles that Trinity currently have Pembroke in. But a steady start. Trinity know they have to take wickets. Another appeal, another refusal. And that's the end of the 5th over. Score is 17 for 1. Lawson and Theo on 2. Hopkins Ryan on 11. And now Pembroke need 109 off 15. Where's Michael Clark when you need him? .267. Good, thank you, David, and yourself. It is, it is. Change of bowling. Oh no, no change of bowling. Connor High continuing. Well run, well called through by the Pembroke batsman. Takes a score on to 18. Hopkins moves on to 12. This is Hoey's 3rd over. Slight hesitation there, but the pressure put onto the fielder, he didn't pick it up cleanly, allowed Theo to get down to the non-striker's end without incident or drama. Taking the singles here and there. One wonders the strength and depth of Trinity's bowling. Oh, it's in the air. It's a simple catch at mid-on. That isn't the best shot that Ryan Hopkins has played this season, or in fact any other. He just couldn't get the strength onto the shot. Leaning onto his back foot. No forward momentum. And as a result, the ball just ballooned up to mid-on. And that's 19 for 2 in the 6 over. Next out to bat, Ireland's wicketkeeper in possession, Lorcan Tucker, fresh from his quarantine after the England ODIs. And what a fine performance that was. After the first 2 games were underwhelming, the performance in the 3rd game, fabulous. And most importantly, 10 points for the World Cricket League towards qualification for the next World Cup. Let's take 10 points off the world champions. Very impressive. ECB have done a good job getting some international cricket on this summer. Pakistan and the West Indies for test matches, Ireland for ODIs, and of course last night's T20, a victim of the rain, and the next one's on tomorrow. Hoey to continue. Short, cracked away on the offside, but there's no run there. Fielder does very well. Kind of may feel he got away with that one a little bit. Then again, leg spinners want shots played. And that's Tucker off the mark with a well-judged single. And that's the end of the 6 over, the end of the power play. And Pembroke have reached 20 for 2. Run rate slowly creeping up. It started at just under 6.5, and it's now over 7.5. They've dropped long leg back down towards the boundary. And Milo Egan to continue from the St John's end. Lorcan Tucker trying to get his feet moving. Good line. Tucker onto it quickly, and he has thumped that away through mid-wicket with such force that the fielder on the boundary, coming up from square leg, had no chance to cut it off, and that's 4 to Lorcan Tucker. Takes him on to 5, takes the score on to 24 for 2 in the 7th over. How quickly he was on to that. Saw the length of it really and played it on that. It was on the stumps, but he clubbed it away. This time he's played it straight down the ground. There is a fielder there. Keep it down to a single. It was in the air for a moment going past the bowler, but too wide of him. Setting a field specifically for Theo and his sweep. Two guys behind square on the leg side. Tucker eager for the single. Theo Lawson no intention. Oh, that's a superb shot. It's coming straight down towards us here at the commentary box. And thankfully the flower bed in front of me stopped that one popping up into my face. Nice shot from Lawson. Takes him on 7, score on to 29. Pembroke could really do with a partnership now. Whereas Pretorius provided a fine backbone for the Trinity innings. We've yet to see anybody put their hand up to play the same role for Pembroke. Two batsmen conferring in the middle. Lorcan Tucker wearing his Irish helmet. Theo Lawson wearing his bandana. Although why he needs a bandana is quite beyond me. Hoey now has been relieved at the nursery end. Ask the bowler's name if anybody there knows it. So, coming on at the nursery end, JJ Walsh, second cousin of our technical director Niall Walsh. And other than that, I know nothing. Coming into bowl, off spin there, it's popped up in the air just outside the circle, bounces well in advance of the advancing boundary rider. They take a single, brings Lawson on strike. He takes a new guard. As the dart accelerates down the line, southbound. And Walsh comes into bowl again. Lawson has played that one out on the offside. Same fielder, same result, single to Pembroke. Light aircraft going overhead, you may be able to hear in the background. There's a bit of blue sky, not much, most of it's 9/10 coverage of cloud. But there is the occasional blue to be seen. Normally at this stage I'd be encouraging people to come down. But of course with COVID restrictions we have no spectators on the ground today. Big appeal by Trinity as Theo Lawson misses out on one of his trademark sweeps. Hadley was having nothing to do with that. Feather displaying across the pitch there. Walsh comes into bowl, forces it down the leg side. Keeper does well to stop it, but it is going to be a wide. We'll have that delivery again, and the score will go on to 33. I Can't believe the scoreboard at the moment. It's showing a DL figure of 141. Full toss to Lawson, pushed out on the leg side, misfielded. Fielded on the boundary, but nothing stops them taking the 3 there. We can actually see the mountain today, unlike Thursday when you wouldn't have known it existed over there. Walsh continues. Another full toss. This one driven straight back down the ground. There's nobody there at long on. And Connor Hoey will have to fetch that one from behind the side screen. 4 off the last ball of the over. That sort of relieves some of the pressure on Pembroke. It takes the score on to 36 or 32. 2 batsmen in the middle discussing matters. Good over for Pembroke, that. Takes them on to 39. Off 7. DL score, just in case the heavens did open now, is 45. And the actual score of 39 for 2. Theo Lawson on 11. Lorcan Tucker now on 12. That's 8 overs gone. 88 off 12. This time Lawson tries the reverse shot, and this time he fails, and he's got LBW, and Milo Egan picks up his first wicket, and the score is 39 for 3, a partnership of 20 there between Lawson and Tucker. And the required rate had come down a little, but we now know that with DL, the loss of another wicket's going to change that. Pembroke are behind on DL. However, the good news is I can't see any rain, and I'm not forecasting any rain, so I think we'll get all 20 overs in. 12 to go, including the rest of this one. Bit chilly, isn't it? Temperature's definitely dropped. But there is some blue sky out there, although it's more over South Leinster than Sandymount. A few dark clouds, but nothing looking like it's actually dropping rain at this stage. So, the new batsman, Niall. Gavin Hoey. So, Gavin has over 150 runs this season already, in this truncated, shortened season. Milo Egan now seems to have found the right line and length to trouble the Pembroke batsman. Economical little run up, pushes the ball foot through. It's been fielded, misfielded and fielded by the man in deep gully. Despite the cries of the fielder, the score is actually 40 for 3. Egan comes in. On the stumps, played out on the leg side, very neatly there. Definitely looking for 2 here. Direct hit would have been close, but Egan fumbled the return, and it allowed Gavin to get down the other end. This one straying down the leg side and is played out on the leg side, goes over the artificial grass, is picked up by the fielder, no urgency, they got the single. No chance of a 2, no chance of a run out. Pembroke, who have qualified for the semi-finals according to the permutations published by Cricket Leinster today, but they'll be looking for a home semi-final. Certainly the final's being played here on 12th of September. That one's short. Oh, it's been popped up in the air, and that is disappointing. It's another catch, another wicket down. That's not the result that Pembroke were looking for. And that's Gavin Hoey gone with the score 44 for 4. He's as disappointed as anybody there. Don't have to say anything, but have a seat. Who's going out to bat there now? JJ Garth, next man in, as Gavin Hoey makes his way back, and that gives you some idea of the blue sky and the dark clouds mixed in. Irish summer's day, a day for shorts and a raincoat. Pembroke really needs somebody to go out there now and make a score. Cheers. I've turned that off, but then you'd be heard through this one anyway, so there's no point. Joining the booth here now, captain of the twos, Jay Prendergast. So this is JJ Walsh to continue from the nursery end. Stephen Hadley, the umpire at this end. Nick Pretorius making a few adjustments to the field perhaps. Well spread on the leg side. Three men out on the boundary, one behind square on the single. As I say that, Connor Hoey is now pulled into the circle. Oh, it's a fielding change. They've brought a different fielder to Connor's position, and Connor now inside the circle at mid-off. And JJ Walsh starts his over. Pushed out there by Lorcan Tucker, fielded by the fielder who took Connor Hoey's position.
Bisgood.
Bisgood, there is it. And Bisgood now being called into the circle at mid-on. There's JJ Garth to face his first ball. As we close in on the halfway stage of Pembroke's reply. Just drops it down on the leg side. Pretorius has to go and fetch it, which he does. And Garth off the mark. Lorcan Tucker going for a more expansive shot, ends up inside edging it down to square leg, takes the single, gets down the non-striker's end, keeps JJ Garth back on strike. DL now up to 63, Pembroke on 47. That's wide ball. Stephen Hadley, his own peculiar signalling. Oh, that's beautifully bowled. Beautifully bowled. He's done Lorcan there. Lorcan's... Yeah? He's also wearing an Irish helmet. That's how I was differentiating.
Dirty there, yeah.
But that was a super delivery there. JJ went reaching for it. Left a gap between bat and pad. And the ball turned sufficiently to take off stump. And that's 5 down with 48 on the board. And this is not looking good for Pembroke.
Balled in.
Next batsman, Paul Lawson. 48 for 5. Not what Pembroke wanted to see at this stage. Trinity now with their tails up. Socially distanced huddle. camera angle may fool you there into thinking they were closer than 2 metres apart, but the reality of it is the umpires will step in and stop anybody getting too close. Right, Paul Lawson, who I think has batted in every position in this first team over the years. Well, Pembroke need him to score some runs today. .79 required. 5 wickets in hand. That DL total is going to shoot away from Pembroke now. JJ Walsh tosses it up there. Lawson just lets it roll off his bat down to mid-on. Boundary fielder comes in, takes it at 30 yards. And that gets Paul Lawson off the mark. Tucker displaying that out to the covers. It's neatly fielded. And that's the end of the 10th over. We're halfway through now, and that's 50 on the board for Pembroke. The one troubling fact is that 5 wickets have fallen. Already 3 more than Trinity lost in the whole of their 20 overs. Pembroke certainly making use of all of their resources in this second innings. Lorcan Tucker will be facing now. Milo Egan to continue. Bowled well so far. So Pretorius up to the stumps, helmet on, as Egan comes into bowl. That's got to be a no ball. Super shot. That manufactured shot there from Lorcan Tucker results in a 4. No ball signalled as well. Oh, 1 for the over. Not signalled as a no ball then. Oh, it was. And now there we go. Paul Reynolds signalling the free hit, confirming that it had been given as a no ball. Some much needed runs for Pembroke. The free hit gets smacked out to extra cover, where it will be fielded by Danny Hogan, and that limits the batsman to 2. So 7 off that 1 ball though. Certainly a help. It's wide of the off stump, slashed away. Danny Hogan again. Pops it back in. Pretorius cleanly takes it. Trinity is certainly keen on this now. Enthusiasm in the field. They sense that there is a definite chance here to take the scalp of Pembroke. I don't know how the rest of their league campaign's gone.
Haven't won a game.
No? Perhaps this is a foretaste for the fives. For the fives later on this weekend. Fifths also haven't won a game yet. Fourths have finished their season. Thirds have finished their season. Neither of which qualified for the semi-finals. Seconds, I think, are already into the semi-finals.
Yeah, 1 more group game.
Nice to reach the semi-finals with a group game to go. As Lorcan plays that one out. Extra cover, where Dermot Tucker does the fielding. 5 of the Trinity side today, Pembroke alumni.
Yeah, a couple of Marion players as well.
Well played out on the leg side. They've taken 2. The throw comes in. Wasn't the best of throws. Couple of bounces in. Well run, 2 for that. remember I connected to the machine behind me in a sort of...
A lot of balls come flying in here. You'd be stuck.
Well, we had one that came close.
Yeah.
Tries to batter that one. Doesn't quite work.
Thanks.
Come prepared, that's my motto.
Espresso and milk.
It's really nice. So, there's cans galore open in the commentary box. All soft drinks, I hasten to add. Scores moved on to 61 for 5. 40, 50, 60, 66. 66 off 9. Run rate remains at 7.3. 3. 3. 3. And Walsh continues. Bounces up outside off stump. Gives Paul Lawson the chance just to play it out to point and take his single. Now, who's down in the nets that would have a phone with them? Nobody.
All those little kids have them, but I doubt you have their number for obvious reasons.
Well, one of them's left their phone here and it's been buzzing in the back of the box. Walsh to continue.
Shot.
Nice shot. Got to the
Fielded
pitch of the
really.
ball. Superb piece of fielding there by Connor Hoey. Trinity's very own JJ. Walsh gets that one to turn.
Fielded.
Lawson just followed the turn and let it dribble down the leg side. Takes the single. Good to see the SMC print and design adverts still there. Certainly got his money's worth for those. I'd say that contract must be up soon. Oh. Throw from the boundary, just dislodging the bails and giving a thought of perhaps an overthrow, but none taken, quite wisely. Dawson again, looking just to drop it on the leg side and take a single, but it's not there this time. He almost hit that too well. Oh, there could be a second there. No,
Probably wise.
probably was wise. So JJ Walsh finishes his over. That's the 12th gone. Score, I think, is 66. We'll wait until the... There we go, the scoreboard is now updated. 66, so 61 required. Would that be right, Joe? 61 divided by 8 equals... We're up to 7.625 and over. Still not out of reach, but with 8 overs to go, 61 required. Pembroke just over the halfway mark in terms of runs, but they're 10 behind on DL.
3 overs still to be bowled by the openers as well. Of those 8.
And this is one of them now, I think, is it?
It is, yeah.
Nigel Jones, whippy arm action. Played out to the covers where Dermot Tucker fields cleanly. Dot ball. Pembroke Pembroke are definitely looking to score runs, but not quite getting the deliveries to do it from. However, Lawson played that one down, took the single. No need to panic at this stage. Wickets in hand would be nice. Played nicely away on the leg side. Milo Egan doing fine work in the outfield there, coming in from the boundary, running about 20 yards, pick it up cleanly and fire it into Pretorius at the keeper. Certainly a run saved. DL now at 81. That's played away, that's really well fielded there. Do you know who fielded that?
Nick Hogan.
This time played away. Dermot Tucker fields it but can't stop the single.
Better throw when that's close.
That was close, but they got home safely at the end of the over. The score moves on to 71 off 13.
Still only 4 bowlers used by Trinity. Interesting to see where they turn to for their next 4 overs.
Well, it's all going to be from the same end as well.
They'll have to use 2.
They've gone back to the... If they're going back to Conor Hoey now, they will definitely... No.
JJ Walsh has 1 over left.
Yeah.
And Connor and Jones have 1 over left each as well.
I just...
So that'll take them to 16. So they'll need 2 bowlers to bowl 2. I think.
Or do they bowl
They bowl,
Jones and Hoey from the same end and
1
have a
over
5th
each.
bowler?
Bowl through. I think it'll be a mix of Bisgood and the 2 Hogans probably to make up those 4 overs.
And that's where wickets in hand would have been very useful.
Shot.
Four runs down the ground, batsman didn't even move, and that will help as the current run rate now required 8 and over. 52 required now. Coming back to long mid-off. JJ Walsh continues.
Well,
Did you know he was second cousin to our own Niall Walsh?
JJ Walsh, I didn't know that, no.
Played out on the offside to the left hand of the fielder. Luckily he's right-handed.
Just outside the line.
It certainly hit him outside the line.
Yeah.
I think the bowler was quite right in assuming it was going on to hit the stumps.
I would have been going up anyway.
Full toss is just played out on the offside. Conor Hoey fields it. Keeps it to a single. Score on the board says 77. Score on the screen says 76. Let's go with the higher figure. It just hasn't come through.
Yeah.
Again, just played out to Conor Hoey here, that mid-off. And they're looking for two there. Not out. Well run.
Excellent running. Picked their fielder anyway.
So that's the end of the 14th over. The score has moved on 79. 21, 21, 27 is 47. And the required rates has come down from 8 to 7.83. Our director has returned. That's not your phone, is it? It was ringing earlier. You might want to see who was trying to get hold of you. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm not even listening to those. Just the chance of garrotting somebody in the commentary box. Now, who's this? This is Bisgood come on to bowl, just as you predicted, Joe.
Yeah.
Have you faced him before?
Haven't. I've seen him bowl a few times.
Off spin?
Yes.
Looks like he's going to go round the wicket. Lorcan Tucker preparing to face the fifth bowler.
Deep fine legs, an interesting decision.
I think he's expecting to fire one down the leg side that might. Lorcan Tucker not quite getting to the pitch of that as he wanted, but he's certainly intending, the same way Pretorius in the first innings showed his intentions. And now the Pembroke wicketkeeper doing the same.
Great shot.
Oh, he's just cleared the fielder and it goes away for four. On such thin margins, things are decided. And Lorcan Tucker now moves on to 36. Pembroke still behind on DL, but the gap is closing now. And that 4 certainly would have helped. Again, I don't think there's any need for DL today, but it's just an indication of as to how well Pembroke are doing. Tucker this time just driving it down to mid-off and taking the single. Bisgood would be happy enough with that result. He gets Paul Lawson back on strike.
Not sure. Deep fine leg was the option to Paul. He usually looks to hit straight.
He does like hitting straight and hard, doesn't he? Ah! Our commentator has returned. It's up to you two. Sort it out. You're going, are you? Yeah. Luke, thank you very much for your help earlier on in the first innings. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, it was very good.
Good, good. And hopefully we'll have a home semi-final or two to report on. Well, that one's a bit short. Clubbed away. Out to square leg, where it's fielded by the boundary rider. Just a single there. Six off this over so far. And that's fired out through extra cover. Long on fetches it, stops it, and gets it back in, keeps it down to 2. And that's the end of the 15th over. The score has moved on to 87. And the required rate, 8 and over.
Don't think there'll be too much panic while Lorcan's at the crease.
No. One wouldn't have thought so. 8 and over. Not beyond the capabilities of this side. Sunil Gupta coming onto bowl.
Looks that way.
It could be.
Medium pace, keeper up. Could be.
He does, yes. Sunil Gupta following his brother Sid into Trinity. However, Sunil playing for Trinity first, whereas I think Sid opted for a more academic stay at Trinity.
Social stance to cricket anyway.
So, Sunil Gupta to Paul Lawson. Gentle medium pace.
Well fielded. Very well attacked.
However, that gets Lorcan onto face. And this is Trinity's 6th bowler now. Both batsmen just exchanging studs, I think. Stephen Hadley taking delivery. Hoik across the line. Efficient sometimes. Nobody out.
Boundary out there.
Yeah, but
No
nobody
one
in
out,
cow. There is a deep,
You understand
wide
one out.
mid on, but nobody at cow, and now he sent Dermot back. Dermot Tucker's now going back to cow corner. The umpire holding up the bowler until the fielder's in place. Smack through the offside. The fielder is going to get there and cut it off with a dive. And, oh, it's well fielded. However,
You go for that. 2, 3. 3, I think.
well, certainly run saved anyway. Fine work by the fielder getting round and making sure the ball didn't evade his grasp. Brings Lawson on strike. And Lawson has gone big to cow corner, and that one has definitely gone for 4. First boundary in a while for Pembroke, first intent. Lawson playing strong and not as straight as we'd expect, but effectively gets the 4 runs.
Hit the gap nicely anyway.
Important now for Pembroke, getting very close to that DL figure. This stand has brought Pembroke back into this game. Played by Lawson onto the leg side. Dermot Tucker picks, fires it back in.
Spot on.
But well run, 2 runs there. Another 2 for Paul Lawson. Paul, who's very quietly and very efficiently got himself onto 23 now. Whereas Lorcan Tucker, a bit tail of 2 wicket keepers. Pretorius' half century certainly kept Trinity's innings alive.
Ready?
Paul Lawson,
Ready? Jump back in here.
he's not commentating. That's our director.
Oh, sorry.
You've had enough of me, Joe.
Wouldn't want to keep the young talent out of the box, would I?
You say that about your seconds as well, don't you? Thank you. So, a change of pads required by Paul Lawson. As Pembroke players flood onto the playing field. Fear Tucker taking a bottle of water out for his brother Lorcan. And with 4 overs to go, Pembroke now need 27, 28, 29. 29 divided by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a quarter.
An over?
Yep. Not impossible. If you actually push your chair that way, so that we're socially distancing a bit better, okay? You want to be speaking into where the writing is, and you can probably see the ground better now from there than you can behind the screen. But you can still see the screen, yeah?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah, I see you there. How about that? Can you see?
Yeah.
You can if you lean.
Looks like we're going to be in for quite a tight innings. Last few overs we'll go down to. So
Well, it certainly looks like a thrilling game. 29 required off 4.
Trinity making a great comeback.
Pembroke
In the
only
middle of
5
this.
behind on DL now. Welcome back. Plenty of sign language going on in the commentary box now. Ryan is telling Luke that no, he's enjoying commentating and he's staying exactly where he is. You're more than welcome to go and play on the screen. You can speak out loud, it's alright. Do you want anything from the shops?
No, do you want to go with us?
Who's going? No, I'm fine.
Ryan deciding that actually being commentator better than going to the shops. And Ryan, you won the first innings guess. You and Chunky both guessed 130. They got to 126. So the two of you were the closest.
Yes.
Taking over from Rafe Duncan, who usually is so good at predicting first innings scores.
What's the name of this bowler?
This bowler, Bisgood. His first name is Richard. Richard Bisgood.
Nelson on strike.
7 1/4.
Oh, big swing. Good running.
They take the run. Oh, they're looking for 2, and they're going to get 2. It's amazing how one overthrow gets as much applause from the sideline as a 6 or a 4. But that's 100 up for Pembroke now. 100 up in the 17th over. And that's a big help.
Big
It's
home.
good, getting a good length there, getting it over the bat of the batsman, and thudding into the chest of the wicketkeeper. Sounded like a bass drum. 27 required now. This time he's gone big, he's gone very big, and that has gone straight into the net, and that's 6 runs. Fine
Excellent
shot.
Great use of the feet.
Yep. Paul Lawson takes him up to 30. Pembroke for the first time are ahead of DL. Those early wickets made it a difficult task, but Lawson's 30 from number 7 has gone very well. This one has dropped short of the fielder there on the boundary.
Well fielded.
Just the single brings Lorcan Tucker onto strike, but it does mean now that Pembroke have moved on to 108, and the required number is now 19. 19 off 3 point, oh, I don't know, 3.2?
Trinity very in need of a wicket.
Paul
Risky
Lawson
shot
trying to
there.
play the reverse shot, down fine, past the wicketkeeper, missed it completely. Liam. You just do that. Nicely played sweep shot, out to square leg, where the man on the boundary fields it and brings it in, and it's just a single. Good over for Pembroke. Score moves on to 108. 19 required off 3, and that's brought the required rate right down to 6.33. That was a good over for Pembroke.
Very good over.
And now
Did a bit of nerves coming into Trinity's body, I'd be guessing.
Connor Hoy's come back for his final over.
Has he got wickets?
I think so, yes. I don't actually have the scorecard, so I'm not sure. I know we could, and we will at the end. That's where the director comes in, really.
Connor looking to get the big wicket of Lorcan Tucker.
The camera that Niall's operating, the fielder, is right in front of him and right in front of the wickets. So Conahoe now. Driven down to mid-off, they take the single. One off the first ball, brings Paul Lawson on strike.
Pembroke don't want to be taking any silly risks.
They shouldn't need to. Required rate now, almost a runner ball.
One a ball, then maybe get that rare boundary in the over. That's all we need.
It might not be this over either.
Oi. Well bowled.
Attempted stumping them by Pretorius. Paul Reynolds giving it not out. As Reynolds comes in to replace the bail. Bit of enthusiasm again in the Trinity side. Coming down the track, Paul Lawson pushing it out to mid-on.
Just a single.
That's all right though. We don't mind that. It's got spikes as well. Again, played out to mid-on. Another single. Two balls remaining in this over. We're the same as DL now. As I say, there'll be no rainfall today. Taken off stumps, played out on the offside. And they keep that down to a single. Trinity delighted with that.
Very good arm from Gup there.
Brings Lorcan Tucker back on strike. Just 3 runs off this over so far.
Catcher.
There's a good chance. And he's taken the catch. Taken the catch at mid-on, off. And that's the end of Lorcan Tucker. Score 1-1-1 for 6.
Connor constantly attacking them stumps, which leads to Lorcan Tucker to try to smack one down the ground and catches it along off.
So it's 16 required.
Good innings by Lorcan.
Fine innings by Lorcan. Falls for 45, not quite the half century. However, he has brought Pembroke to within shouting distance.
David Cosgrave in now.
David Cosgrave, one of only 2 batsmen in Pembroke to be over 200 runs for the season now, in this shortened, truncated season. Paul Lawson continues, he's on 32. This has been a fine knock by Paul. Nothing silly, has just taken the runs on offer. David Cosgrave now. So that was the end of that over. So that's 18 gone. .16 required off 2, and the run rate jumps back up to 8. So 12 balls, 16 required, and we're getting the final over.
From that wicket there, throwing the nerves back at Pembroke.
Yeah.
David Cosgrave scoring lots of 50s for the under-19s for Pembroke this year.
He's scoring lots of runs for Pembroke, full stop. In open competition, as I say, one of only 2 batsmen in Pembroke to be over 200 runs, the other one being Shoban. Paul Lawson must have increased his total as well. So, Gupta now to bowl the 19th over from the St John's end.
Not 18th.
No, 18 gone, 2 to go. 2 overs, 15 runs. Now the scoreboard is up to date. The required run rate is actually 7.5 and over. So, Sunil Gupta now.
No single there.
Dot ball.
Well bowled by.
Sunil just getting his length right there.
Played the wrong line.
Gupta in again. Well, that's gone down the leg side.
Wide ball.
And it's a wide ball, so that will certainly help Pembroke's cause. Scorers signal back. Paul Reynolds retakes his position and Gupta comes in again. Big swipe by Lawson.
Hit the helmet.
Dot ball. That one seemed to catch him in the helmet as helicopter comes by. Paul just resetting himself, quite rightly, taking his time. Back into his stance. Gupta comes in again. Paul's gone big, out towards the scoreboard.
Good running.
And they get 2 there. Well run by David Cosgrave. So I've got to Paul Lawson, another one down the leg side, another wide.
Wide ball.
And that brings the required down to 11. Pembroke would surely like to get a boundary during this over, otherwise they'll leave themselves too much to do in the final over.
If I was the bowler in this situation, I just constantly bowl on the stumps.
It's played round the corner, and there's hesitation there. Oh, they get the one. Gets David Cosgrave on strike, and Pembroke need 10. 10 from 8 balls, I believe. Now, if there was a time that Pembroke needed David Cosgrave to score, today's the day. David, who's been making his mark on the first and seconds this year. Now, these two faced each other so many times in the nets, and he has just sliced that one down the wicket. Nigel Jones there, leading by example, showing his Leinster Lightning players how it's done. Paul Lawson just applying a bit of hand sanitizer. Gupta comes in now to finish this over. Oh, and that's beautifully played. Inside edge.
Good over.
Inside edge means a single. Means the score's 119. Which means that 9 are required off the last over. And for the first time today, the run rate goes up to 9. DL is exactly right. So at the moment, it's Trinity's game, if the heavens opened at this moment. Paul Lawson has moved on to 37. David Cosgrave is off the mark. So, Pembroke need 8 off the final over, the scoreboard having been adjusted. 8 off 6. Last over thriller. 69 of you have switched on, watching. And to bowl the last over, Nigel Jones. That's the Lightning coach. Be using all of his experience to try and stop Pembroke getting the 8 runs they require for victory. Certainly an exciting finish anyway.
Yeah.
You're cold, are you?
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah. T-shirts and shorts. Brave.
Trying to set his field perfectly.
I don't think you can never set a field perfectly with just 11 on the park. That's good, that's good. That's pushed down the ground. There's one there. Well picked up. Just a single then.
David Cosgrave facing his second ball.
That takes a score on to 120. 7 required from 5. This really is coming down to a last ball finish. Jones using all of his experience. 7 runs required. That one just bowled out the legs, just a single there. Cosgrave doing the right thing, not taking on too much. 6 required. They're only now 1 shot away. One feels that there won't be anything short outside off stump here by Jones. He'll be bowling right in at the legs. Nice appeal from long mid-off. No chance of that being out. Another single. 5 required off 3. He's played that just round the corner to the man there. Can't stop the single. 4 off 2. This is it now. 4 off 2. Lawson will be looking for a big shot here. And he's gone big. He's gone big. The fielder's there, but he's not going to stop it. 6. So with 1 ball remaining, Paul Lawson has hit the 6 that has won the game for Pembroke. It's been certainly a lot closer than Pembroke would have wanted, but that's been a fine, exciting game of cricket here in Sydney Parade today. Superb knock from Paul Lawson. He finally ends up on 45. 45 not out, and one would say that it was the innings that won the game for Pembroke. Paul, nothing too drastic, but a superb 6 right at the very end to finish it off, and that leaves Trinity just 1 ball away from downing Pembroke. But the straight 6, as my co-commentator earlier said, Paul Lawson likes to hit big and likes to hit straight, and that's exactly what he did to win the game for his teammates. Super game of cricket, and a very happy, very content Paul Lawson with his neatly trimmed beard, joined by his partner David Cosgrave. Super game, and that hopefully will ensure a home semi-final for Pembroke. A lot of COVID greetings, the 2 teams, and that was a super game of cricket. Well done to Trinity. Certainly put it up to Pembroke and certainly took it all the way. The fact that Dublin University got to 126 for the loss of 2 wickets in their 20 overs, and Pembroke just got to 129 for 6 off 19.5 with 1 ball to spare. So that's the end of that. The end of today's cricket. Tomorrow the second 11 will be at home, and the 5th 11 will be in the Antarctic, that is Railway Union. But that's the end of the league campaign for the first, and they'll now go on to a semi-final, which they hope will be a home semi-final. and then hopefully a home final on the 12th of September held here. We'd like to thank our production staff as usual, my co-commentators Luke and Ryan and Joe, and our production staff of Sean Smith, Niall Walsh and Ryan. It was a final round performance, and one that sees Pembroke victorious by 4 wickets. Thanks for joining us. I hope you can join the Pembroke TV tomorrow with the second 11. Joe Prendergast, who has already qualified for the semi-finals, or the rest of his team has as well, and he'll be looking to finish out his league campaign with a win and to take some confidence into the semi-final. We hope you all enjoyed it, and we hope you'll join us for our next broadcast tomorrow. Only a few of these left now, but for now, with the view of the ground and the covers going on, groundsman Dale directing traffic, and the 4 covers coming on from the far corner, we'd like to say goodbye to you for now. Thanks very much, and we'll talk to you again soon. And thanks very much to Paul Lawson for scoring the necessary runs to ensure that Pembroke go through their league campaign with just the 1 defeat. Thank you very much to those people who got in touch with us. We do enjoy any feedback, even if it does say "grat job." But thank you to everybody. Talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.